Good evening, and welcome to another off-the-cuff episode of Diatribes from the voice of Doom. Now here's your off-putting and offhand host, voice of Doom. Alright. I wasn't really thinking about doing a diatribe today, but I figure I'll keep going for a number of reasons, least of which is the microcosm. I work tonight, and now I have a day off tomorrow, which I'm really happy about, because they seem to want to schedule me to work almost every day, and I don't think I want to do that. But I guess they like me. I don't know why. But it's just a point in the clock when I have some free time to just bullshit around and expound on whatever. There's really not that much to talk about, but I wanted to talk about a lot of things that I think could help. But they're disparate. One might not have anything to do with the other. I was kind of commiserating to myself about my last diatribe because it was really good, and nobody's watching and nobody's commenting. And it seems to me that I'm as good as a lot of these people who are commenting on what's going on. But apparently either YouTube hates me or it's not catching any attention, and I'm not trying for it, but I'm not going to blame anybody but myself. But it just seems to me that I kind of have some insights on life at my age and experience that no one seems to want to take heed of, but I'll leave it there. It's just, I do this every so often. I just feel sorry for myself that I don't have 2 million followers, and whatever. I don't care about the money, really. I'm doing okay. And sometimes when you live in a lifestyle and you're born into it and you keep going into it, that just getting by and being able to pay your bills is great. Life is beautiful. Doesn't matter, I don't have extra money to buy a hydrofoil or a ski boat or whatever the hell they are, or anything. Just live a regular lifestyle with a reasonably good car, being able to drive to work, and make enough money to pay all my bills. That's the American dream right there. Got a house and I got equity in it. But that's just a microcosm. I wanted to talk about things I've seen in I've been watching a lot of these dating things for no reason at all, just to entertain myself and watch how idiotic people are. Because I've been there, done that, and I don't have to do it again. And if it happens again, it's really going to happen on my terms. Otherwise, it won't happen at all. I'm not saying that I'm going to be, it's my way or the highway. I'm just saying I'm not going to put up with any more turmoil, drama, or anything else that has to do with a relationship, because, you know, you get to a certain age and you don't want to do that. I've told you stories about doing that. Raising 2 kids with a wife who is very aggressive. and she was halfway out of her mind half the time. And I had to put up with that because divorce was not an option. That wasn't going to happen. And we persevered. And I remained true, and she remained true. And it ended in the way that most marriages should end. And I'm not going to say I'm proud of that. I'm just going to say I kept my promise. Now, I look at these people, and at least 80 or 90% of them are delusional. But I'll just give overall umbrella advice to everybody who wants to make it in life. You reach a certain age, and you've gone out with people, and some you like and some you don't, but you're not thinking about a long-term relationship. Okay. Now you reach a certain age and you go, I want a person where we can be a team, where we can work together to survive. That's the way it is. You guys don't get it. I don't know what you're living in. You go to get your manicures and your pedicures, and they're being looted. So get with it. Marriage is a economic contract. Anybody that thinks it's anything else than that is delusional. When I married my wife, I knew that she was a handful, but I also knew that she needed me and I needed her, because we could pool our resources to buy or rent and have each of us have a car and insure it and have cable and have electricity and water when we worked together. So it didn't matter that we weren't compatible. What mattered is we wanted to work together to survive. That's how everybody should look at marriage. And if you're lucky enough to get somebody that you really get along with, that you like to be with, and you laugh together and have a good time, well, that's really good. But even that will have its foibles, because sometimes when you find somebody that's too compatible, you realize you don't like them because they're too much like you. So that's something to think about. But I've been watching these things with Lady J and these dating things just from I don't have to be part of that, so I can watch and laugh and enjoy it. And people have these delusional expectations about what they want. They want to be taken care of, but they don't want to have someone who's domineering. They want to have a family, but they don't want all the responsibility that goes with changing diapers and having a kid throw up, and you don't know what's wrong, so you have to rush them to the ER because you don't know what's wrong. And having all kinds of things happen. And it doesn't end when they become adults, because I know from firsthand that when you have a kid who's autistic and can't function in society, he ends up on the streets with the wrong people and dies. Freezes to death because he wandered off and collapsed in a heap, and nobody came to look for him. So that's what happens in life. So you better get ready for it, or don't bother doing it. Stay in your room and stay in bed. But if you're 22 or 23, you got your whole life ahead of you, and you better start thinking about, a realistic future. Yeah, use your good looks to make a lot of money on whatever, pick-me's or whatever these things are, and make $10 a hit because you remove your clothes in front of men or whoever. That's not going to last forever, and that money's going to be worthless one day, and the money you made will be gone, and then you'll be haggard and be going, I wish I had just met somebody nice and gotten married and have a few kids, and then I'd have a legacy. But no, I wanted a lot of money because I'm really beautiful and I'll get on YouTube or whatever. I don't know what they are. I didn't do any research on this. You know what I'm talking about. The internet is open to everybody. You can sell your body, you can sell, expose yourself for money. And people will pay for it. That's fine. It's not really fine. I don't want to say anything. I just know what the outcome will be. And it's been that way for millennia. So, I would say, try to start an economic unit with two people who love each other, sort of, if they want to. I mean, what is love? Come on. I mean, I love my wife, but she was, something else, too. So it's kind of a, everybody should know what that is. I don't have to explain it to you. That you may not get the perfect person, and if you get the perfect person, they won't be perfect because they'll be too much like yourself, and you'll be bored with that. So you need friction. You need people, like my dad used to say, you have different ropes, 3 or 4 or 5 ropes, and they're all cut at different lengths. And the ropes have to fit together. Like one person has this much, tolerance for this, and this one has more, and it fits together. The ropes, they're different people. And you have to really persevere to say, I'm going to stick it out. You do not have kids and then say, oh, it's not working. Let's split up and I'll find somebody else. Nah. I don't know what planet you guys are on, but that's not for me. You don't do that. You make a commitment, you stick with it, and if it's really, really bad, then you try to make it better, but that's the last resort. Splitting everything up. It's the cause of more problems on this planet we know about. So, I don't know. I wanted to say more about this, but I'm a little bit crocked. I just wanted to talk about these human relationships and how people have to really think about, you have to work together and you can't be having these visions of grandeur. I remember when my first girlfriend, we were living together for a few years, and I said, well, let's get married. And she goes, I want to get married in a castle in Scotland. Well, it's like, okay, you don't want to get married then, because that is some pipe dream thing you have from some gothic poster you had hanging on your wall, that you want to get married in Scotland in a castle. And if I had the wherewithal, I probably would have done it, but I didn't, so we didn't get married. But she led the way toward my current marriage, and if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be where I am now. So life is very interesting, and if you think about it and think about your past and think about all the people you've dealt with, you realize relationships are interesting. And try to think about your survival in this day and age, and not getting your manicures and pedicures. Alright, that's it. I didn't say much. I'm sorry. It's just some social commentary just to get away from the politics for a bit. and it won't go over very well. So I'll see you later. Bye.